All right, everybody. Stocks by the numbers. Welcome back. And I know that I was potentially a little early with this pullback on McDonald's. And technically, if you were betting against the stock, you just got blessed with this news. But let's do a quick update here because McDonald's stock, ticker symbol MCD on the New York, is taking a hit now after hours. Still down about 5.7%. Was down about 9% initially on the news that just came out. Let's find out what's going on. $314.69 on the close, essentially flat on the day. As you see, down about 18 points after hours, sub $300 a share on the news of an E.coli outbreak apparently linked to the quarter pounders. So if we back up here, we can see that I did a video, I think it was like right here, the 16th, stock was like 312. Of course, it kept going up to almost 318 after I said that, in my opinion, the stock is very overvalued in the numbers. And of course, they just missed earnings, but apparently went on an absolute tear and ran from 250 to 318 after missing earnings, because apparently people are pumped about this supposed $5 value meal that they're bringing back. And of course, in my opinion, I just have to laugh because we spoke about how they're kind of taking advantage of their loyal customers and they're pumping up these prices, beefing up the profit margins ridiculously over the last several years, especially since the lockdowns. And you can see the way that this business has just completely stepped up massively since 2020. That's when obviously their prices really started to blow up, and you can see that the net margin percentage on 19.2 billion down here at 24%. As of last year, 25.5 billion, net margin 33+%. And they even came out and said the low income consumer is not really who they're looking for now. And that's why it just makes me laugh, because in my opinion, the company was essentially rewarded for screwing over the average consumer. And now, after what, 3.5, 4.5 years or whatever it's been since the lockdowns, now they want to reinstate their $5 meal. So, in my opinion, they're being rewarded when they shouldn't be. And I said that I was expecting a pullback. I said the stock, in my opinion, should be down here at this support trend line of like 258. And now we had the news come out again after hours. So let's find out exactly what happened. And we can see here McDonald's shares fall after CDC says E. coli outbreak linked to quarter pounders. Now, the CDC says it's linked to the quarter pounders, right? Keep that in mind. Shares of McDonald's trading in the red after CDC said it's investigating an E. coli outbreak that's been linked to quarter pounder burgers that has left one person, unfortunately, I don't know, what, I'm not allowed to say that, right? Unalived, that's what people say now. But one person apparently is unalived from this outbreak, which of course is extremely unfortunate, and they rest in peace. After the bell, the company's shares fell 9.5%, actually went a little bit lower, I think, went to like 282. Volume in the late market topped, little typo, 1.6 million shares. Stock, which is up 6% this year, finished the regular trading session flat. Most of the people who got sick, people reported. Who is writing these articles? Eating a quarter pounder. There have been 49 cases reported across 10 states, including 10 hospitalizations, the CDC said. Most of the illnesses have been reported in Colorado and Nebraska. McDonald's said initial findings from the investigation indicate a subset of illnesses that may be linked to slivered onions that came from a single supplier. So, the CDC says it's the quarter pounders. McDonald's is saying it's the slivered onions on the quarter pounder. So we don't know yet if the onions were the problem or the beef was the problem. But it makes me wonder also, I don't know this information, but it says from a single supplier, so I assume they have a slew of suppliers. And also it just makes me think that if they mention the onions, there's also onions like on the regular cheeseburgers and whatnot as well. However, those are minced onions and not slivered onions. So you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if these onions were bad, but the other regular onions they used were fine. So obviously, we don't have that information right now. But apparently, they're saying it came from a single supplier. Quarter pounders are being removed from restaurants in Colorado, Kansas, Utah, and Wyoming, as well as parts of Idaho, Iowa, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, and Oklahoma out of an abundance of caution, the company said. But I thought it was the onions. Right? See what I'm saying? That's the way my mind works. That's where I go right away. Because if you're telling me it's the onions, then you can still give people the quarter pounders if they order them. You just have to tell them it's not going to come with onions. But apparently, the burger itself is now off the menu in, I don't know, what's that, 10, 12 states or something? McDonald's also said all other menu items, including other beef products, are unaffected and available. So McDonald's is saying it's the onions. The CDC was saying it's the actual beef patties. But McDonald's is saying all other beef products, again, unaffected and available. But we know how the average human mind works, right? So if you tell me, oh, people are getting sick from the quarter pounders, then even if I wanted to go to McDonald's right now, I'm probably going to be a little hesitant to order a Big Mac or, a double cheeseburger, right? Chances are a lot of people are now going to be very skittish when it comes to the burgers. So they're either A, going to opt for a competitor. As you see here, it says other competitors popped. Wendy's stock up 2.7%. Restaurant brands up 3%. Shares of Beyond Meat even went up a little over 1% because now, right, anyone who is afraid of a potential E. coli outbreak on beef may look for, I know it's like imitation meat or whatever, but we know it's an alternative, right? So Beyond Meat seeing a little bit of a gain after hours does kind of make sense to me as well. But we know that based off this news, in my opinion, probably all of the other franchises, Wendy's, who else? Jack in the Box, Burger King, right? All of these other burger chains are probably now going to get this fallout business. But I don't know. I just seem a little standoffish from the whole situation because, again, CDC said it was the quarter pounders. McDonald's is saying it's the onions, but the other onions are okay, and the other burgers are okay. I don't know. So that might actually scare some people away from McDonald's, and it's actually unfortunate timing because I know the market was pumping the stock, again, off of that $5 meal deal or whatever they're doing. And it's just unfortunate that now this comes out here with the E. coli, so that may keep people away even though they're offering the value meal. And of course, if anyone is planning to go to McDonald's, I want you to be careful, of course, but also, I'd probably assume that they're going to see a drop 4, 5, 6% in their burger sales now over the next couple of months potentially. And maybe it could be offset by a rise in like chicken sandwiches and chicken nuggets if people just opt for those. But we know that McDonald's is really traditionally all about the burgers and the fries. So I don't know. This seems like some pretty big bad news here. Unfortunately, again, one person lost their life already. And the problem with this also is that the E. coli, I believe there's really not much they can do for you. You kind of just have to suffer for a few days and just kind of tough it out and just pass it through your system. Because I believe once it's ingested and it's working its way through your body and you do start to begin to feel ill, again, I don't think they can't pump your stomach, right? Because it's already digested. It's already working its way through your body. So pumping the stomach, I think, doesn't really do anything. I'm pretty sure you start to get like, that high grade fever. You start to like hallucinate and whatnot. So I'm pretty sure even if you go to the hospital, I think they just kind of maybe throw some cooling blankets on you, give you some ice chips to suck on and whatnot. But I really don't think there's much they can do. And, you just have to hope you're feeling better within a couple of days. But in my opinion, I'm just thrown for a loop because, again, CDC said the burgers, McDonald's is saying just those specific onions. But at the same time, if it's just the onions, again, you're taking the burger off the menu in 12 states. I don't know. In my opinion, it seems like a very rough situation. And even though, as I said, in my eyes, it was overvalued in the numbers, I was expecting a pullback. You can see the stock came basically right down here to this level, 283 and change, this bottom fib level. This is a 1-year chart, by the way, this bottom fib level. But in my opinion, I mean, again, it's sitting right here. They can try to bounce it around, but I think we start to see a step down to about 260 back to this trend line. So again, technically got blessed with the news about a week after I did my video saying that it should go down, but technically, again, stock down 6%, and yeah, about 5-6% lower than where it was when we did the video. But very unfortunate situation here for McDonald's. RSI was well above 70 for days, and now we have this news coming out. So that's why, even if we look at how fast the stock shot up, and you can see the bottom Bollinger Band and the 50-day moving average spiking up just since August, since last earnings, you can see now bottom Bollinger Band 296, we're below that. 50-day moving average about 295.5. Stock technically is slightly above that level, but you can see how we recently just broke below the 20-day moving average. We may try to retrace up to this trend line here, maybe like 297.70, but it does kind of look like we're seeing like a wedge climb, and now we may reject and start to pull back. So, we can keep an eye on it, but in my opinion, even though it was due to an E. coli outbreak, I think that this pullback now is long overdue, and 200-day moving average here, 276.74. That should, in my opinion, technically be the next stop, especially since the RSI was, indicating overbought as well. So we have a couple of things now adding to this big sell-off now. And of course, you've been on the up and up for the last couple of years. So anyone who bought into McDonald's stock a couple of years ago and now rode this wave since like 2020, 2021, they may be the ones who are saying, you know what? I think it's, going to get ugly before it gets better. Now McDonald's, again, with the E. coli, you know what, let me just cut the position here at, slightly sub 300, and I'll maybe look to re-enter the position, a couple of months down the road. But look at the MACD just flying straight up, beeline to the moon here, in my opinion, with this fake move. Again, they missed earnings. Stock went on this run. And the RSI on the weekly even sitting here up at 71.5. So that's why this pullback, I think, is necessary. We can see mid-Bollinger Band 279.58, 50-day moving average 278.36, and the stock, I believe, 280. We hit a low here at 282.22. So we came down just about 3 points, 2.5, 3 points, right above the mid-Bollinger Band and the moving average. So that's why I feel like that may have been kind of maybe foreshadowing where the stock really wanted to go. So now you may have people buying the dips and they're trying to bring it back up, but that's why I think we drop back down to the 280s and eventually technically the 260s. We can also see the 200-day moving average on the weekly, 250.72. So that's why, again, I have to kind of stand by my analysis. And I know, again, we got blessed with the timing of this E. coli news. But I do think that the stock should realistically pull back to 260, the 250 level, and then, they'll probably bounce it from there. But in my opinion, this technically should keep McDonald's stock down in the short term. And, I'm sure they're not going to see this video, but anyone who is feeling ill right now, oh, excuse me, anyone who's feeling ill right now, or of course that person who apparently lost their life, my thoughts, my prayers go out to them, because we don't wish that upon anybody. And also, it reminds me, I don't remember exactly when it was, my apologies, but years ago, there was like a spinach outbreak. You remember that? And, same thing kind of happened. I don't remember if it was E. coli or whatever, but I just remember there was like the outbreak on spinach, and like nobody wanted spinach, no one trusted spinach, because that's how we work. That's how our minds work. And, even if I said, oh, there's like, only a 3% chance a quarter pounder could make you sick, chances are, even though the odds are in your favor, you're probably going to turn around and say, you know what, I'll just wait for them to fix the problem, clean up their mess, we'll go get Wendy's or something, and, we'll get back to McDonald's down the road. So that's what I feel like is going to happen, and that's why now I know they're saying the other burgers are available on the menu, but in my opinion, I think they start to see the beef burger sales drop, and I'm just not sure if the chicken sales are going to be able to compensate. But only time will tell. But technically, obviously, if you saw the video and you bought some puts on McDonald's, then technically you should be up a few bucks now. So congratulations to you. And again, longer term shareholders, I mean, chances are I'd probably give them the benefit of the doubt because I'm sure the company could weather the storm and, rebound back up. But again, looking at some of the technicals, we may be trending downward now for, could be the next couple of weeks, could be the next couple of straight months. So this might be one where you might want to, toss it on the back burner and keep an eye on it and maybe come back to it a month or two down the road. And you might be able to buy it at a deep discount and, catch that rebound after the bad news cycle kind of, gets swept under the rug. But that's my opinion. And that's pretty much it. I'll end it there. So once again, Stocks by the Numbers. I want to thank you for stopping by. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop it down in the comments section. I'm usually pretty quick to reply. Thumbs up algorithm helps me get more eyes on the channel. And of course, subscribe to the channel. That is our handshake agreement. That is how you help me help you. But of course, more importantly, moving forward, like I always say, I understand that markets are rocky, they're volatile, they're very uncertain. So I want to wish all of you success. I hope everyone makes a couple of dollars. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.